Durbin. Kirk is a hacker, forensic investigator, and consultant, black hat hacker in his youth, and a security engineer later in life. Kirk has worn many hats throughout the small business security world. Currently, Kirk owns a business in the cryptocurrency space, is a consultant for a local municipality and police department, and is an advisor to Catalyst Space, a local makerspace located in PA. Kirk's talk will be who's responsible. User security, who is responsible?
All right, thank you. All right, so yeah, my talk is on user security and who is responsible for what's being posted on social media. First, Alright, so first, who am I? Like you said, my name is Kirk Durbin. I am a security researcher. I am a founder of Apollo 18, which is a cryptocurrency mining operation based in Altoona. And I'm also an advisor to Catalyst Space, which is a makerspace and incubator based in Altoona. So I kind of want to do this presentation, instead of me preaching PowerPoint to you, I wanted to kind of make it a discussion, kind of see, because I think this is going to be a conversation that we're going to have in the very near future. So I'm going to use Facebook a lot as like the evil corporation and everything. But Facebook is interchangeable with Twitter, Slack, Discord, iMessage, Android messages, any kind of communication really. So I want to kind of get a feel from you guys. So do you feel that Facebook bears any responsibility over the data that they display to its users?
Yes. No.
No?
Why?
Because
Do they have any responsibility, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it is the curator that they do have responsibility.
So Zuckerberg said, and his quote is, "It's clear now that we did not do enough to prevent abuse. That goes for fake news, foreign interference, and data privacy. It was a huge mistake. It was my mistake." Jack Dorsey from Twitter also said that it was a huge fail that companies like Twitter have so far put the most burden on the victims of abuse. So is this social media setting precedents and assuming responsibility for the content that their users post? Personally, I feel that users are responsible for their own security. But I'm curious to know where do you feel that Facebook bears that burden? What line is that drawn? Where's that line drawn where Facebook bears the, like if I post something and you're upset or you get hacked because of it, is Facebook liable for a phishing link? If I post a phishing link targeting you, is Facebook liable for your financial losses?
Yeah, I mean, that's a...
Because they did set the precedence and they accepted responsibility.
Right, exactly. I'll say yes. Is that the right answer?
I think this is a future conversation that we're going to have.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, absolutely. I think they should have responsibility, as they have the technology, they have the people, the manpower, right? Supposedly the brains, right? Yeah. So,
I mean, if they're going to control the conversation, then they should take some responsibility.
yes.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about two different exploits, features, bugs that were found in Facebook specifically. If you guys remember, in 2010, there was a Facebook tried to implement an email service. So you could go and email username at facebook.com and it would send an email to the user's messenger inbox. It never really took off. In 2012, I found that if you had a user's primary email that they used to log into the account, you could send messages as them to anybody. So a spoofed email from an attacker, and as you can see, whenever the spoofed email came through, it sent it as that user, and then it would add this small exclamation mark here that says "sent from the email address at gmail.com." So as a user, Facebook's response to the whole thing was, well, we alert them. But the email was sent it was a spoofed email using the social engineering toolkit. So if you fast forward a few years, everything started to grab URL previews and put them into your communications. So whenever you post a URL on Facebook Messenger, Twitter, Facebook, they go out to the website, grab a preview of it, and then post it onto into your feed. Even more recently, iMessage does it, Android messages, and just about any way you communicate does URL previews now. So I figure, what if we spin up a web server that would display one thing to Facebook, but display something other to your target? So these are, this is Facebook, Android messages, Twitter, and Facebook Messenger. I posted a link, it was definitely trustworthy.com. The preview that came out was Disney, but when you click Disney, it would actually take you to Kennywood's website.
It's close, right?
Yeah, both amusement parks. But if you start to use your imagination, you start to see where this could go really wrong, right? What if I put something up at apple.com and then an Apple phishing page? And Facebook displays apple.com's preview whenever they land there. Now you've got your iTunes information. Apple's a huge target for credit card theft. So there was I was going to do a demo to kind of walk through the script that I had posted. I automated and weaponized this. So you can just go in, edit a config file, put in what URL you want the user to see and which one you want them to visit. It goes out and it grabs, as right now on GitHub, goes out and grabs the HTML and then injects what was used for the payload on there, injects a JavaScript fingerprint. So what it does is, at the time there was a large darknet takedown. We were trying to research if we could track people through the darknet whenever the FBI was trying to control exit nodes. So the payload that's built into it now grabs a fingerprint based on resolution and generates a random fingerprint. So if you go out to GitHub, go to github/lolrip/ak. That is the code for this specific attack. Like I said, you can run, generate websites, inject your payload into it, go and target your user base, and that's it. So is there any questions about this? The payloads can be anything. You've got the browser exploitation framework, you've got all sorts of pre-built, or the popular mining in the browser. Really any kind of a browser-based attack can be injected into this and can be used for...
So mitigation for users, right? So talk a bit about how the spoof would happen.
Mitigation for users really has to be being cognizant of what's going on around you. So definitely trustworthy.com is showing a display for Disney. But one of the common attack types I've seen is they buy these domains that might be trustworthy.com, and then they add a ton of subdomains before it. So you'll see accounts.disney.grandfloridian.trustworthy.com. So it kind of gets lost in all of it. So it really goes back to that old adage of watch what you're clicking, don't just blindly click stuff, and pay attention to to what's being posted and not so much the previews. If you can see in the Twitter one, actually it shows Disney.com and the URL right underneath. It's definitely easy to miss, but yeah, I think for mitigation, it's kind of just being more of that social awareness, because I think the state of security still is, I remember hearing Dave Kennedy say that he doesn't run exploit code. It's all click the link, and exploiting human trust. And so that's really where it gets down to, awareness of what's going on.
Education.
Yep, education, definitely.
So one, how is that working? And two, how do you want them to fix it?
So how is it working?
Yeah.
Basically, so the script has a list of user agents, which you can add to it. Whenever you post a link to, say, Facebook, They have a user agent that goes out, I think it's actually called Facebook Agent or something like that. It goes out to grab the preview, and whenever the script sees that, it gives up the Disney screen, or the fake.
So you stored at Disney.com.
Yep. So there's normal.html and then blacklist.html. So so it goes out, displays Disney to Facebook. Then whenever you go and click it, your user agent is different than Facebook's bot. So then now you're going to see the infected page. How do I want them to fix it? I think there's different ways. I mean, they do all this crazy stuff in their code to subvert like ad blockers. They can use more than one user agent. That's like the simplest fix. Make it the most common user agent there is. And why do you have to bring? I'm not sure why they have to brand their crawling bot to be Facebook. But maybe there is a reason internally why it's doing that. I'm not sure.
Not that ML's the answer to everything, but if it's trustworthy.com and you're displaying Disney, what is their stance? Do they have any tools that are looking to,
I don't know if that's something they're currently looking at. When this was put on them, they were like, it's up to the user to protect themselves. But then when they went in front of Congress, they were like, no, it's our burden to bear. So it's kind of like, which one is it? And I think when there's a high profile enough issue, this conversation is going to be put in a bigger scope. As far as machine learning, I don't know, because what if it's a Disney review blog? And it grabs that image. So it's kind of tough to discern. They can scrape the page and see, oh wait, it's asking for credit card info. This might be a little iffy.
Right.
Versus, or Kennywood's not Disney.
Right. Okay.
So, I know this real quick. There was time for a demo in there, but technical. So, is there any other questions or any other discussion on user responsibility and social media?
There's a lot there, I'm sure. But thank you.